This movie also includes a little bit of Dahl's racism.
Oh,
W so I mean, it just leans in on the fact that Willy Wonka has a bunch of slaves in his, factory, and he pays them in chocolate, and, I mean, and they're happy, but, like, ugh, maybe they're not. Like, who knows? That's the thing. That's the thing with yeah, it's touchy.
so, like, I don't know if they ever get into, like, the Oompa Loompa society, maybe chocolate isn't their money, where they,
It
like
certainly could yeah.
where they're like, so, like, in that instance, like, if the Oompa Loompas are getting paid in chocolate, they are getting paid, so they're
Yeah, I
just
guess
factory
it's
workers at that point.
yeah, I don't wanna argue slavery with you, but,
What's going on, everyone? 2025 is the 20th anniversary of JoLo's Crappy Movies, and we're taking a look back at the movies of JoLo's Crappy Movies. So, Joe, what are we talking about this week?
we were talking about the 2005 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory directed by Tim Burton, starring Johnny Depp and, Freddie Highmore, and a bunch of talented, wonderful people, but those are the 2 right at the top. It is the story of Charlie, a small boy from an impoverished family, um, who wins a chance to tour a mysterious chocolate factory with a mysterious owner and mystery.
Ooh.
It's fantastic for a while. I would say the first half, in fact, the part where they build up to the chocolate factory is great. It's long too. It's like 45 minutes and it's great. We get to meet Charlie and his huge family, including the 4 bedridden grandparents. And we get a great sense of him and his family life. And they're very poor, even though their house is like right in the middle of town. It's weird. There's there's like 2 major landmarks in this town: a chocolate factory, and right down the street is their house. It's almost like it's one of those houses where they were building a road and they're like, "We'll give you $1,000 to move so we can make the road straight." And they're all like, "No way! This is our house and we're gonna stay here forever, even though there's holes in the roof, so we all sleep in the same bed." Um,
Is that
that's
why they're
probably
so
not.
poor?
It could be like
They didn't take this money?
it just seems like their house is like right in the middle of town, and it's like, why are you not like get rid of this house, make some money. It's like good bit of land in the otherwise busy city. Anyway, that's not what the story's about. But we get a great sense of Charlie and his family life and everything, and then we get the introduction of this mysterious chocolatier sending out golden tickets. He's sending out golden tickets to invite people to come to the factory. And then we get the introduction of the other people that win the prize. And honestly, that stuff's really terrific. Like, this is all in that 45-minute gold chunk. um, I loved how Tim Burton, he's always got his own sense of style and everything. And with something like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you do expect it to be on full display. Like, especially when they go into the chocolate factory, like it's a magical world full of wild things, but I love seeing the little touches on the outside, like the crooked shack, the doors sideways and stuff. The and you just all the little details and all the little details specific to each character. Like Veruca Salt's corner of the world is completely different than Mike TV's or Violet Beauregard's. Um, and the time we get to spend with these kids in that first chunk is terrific. Like they all feel realized. They all feel like real people. Um, even though they are jerks, like jerks are real people too. And it's high time that the jerks get their, uh, representation on film. I don't know. Anyway, I loved it. I loved that first chunk. And then it was time to go to the factory and everyone was excited. They're all lined up and they go into the factory and it's good for a while. Willy Wonka's crazy. Depp plays Wonka like a standoffish a little bit, but also he's like socially awkward. He's very much like excited, but he doesn't know how to talk to these kids, probably because he's locked himself in a chocolate factory for his entire life. And for what it's worth, we do get some backstory on Willy Wonka. We get to see how he had a overbearing dentist father, or his father was a dentist and did not let him eat candy. Uh, Willy would go trick or treating, and his dad would go through everything and be like, "Oh, you can't eat that. You can't eat that." He'd throw it all in the fire. So he was traumatized, and we get to see that, and that certainly informs how the kind of person he is, in the during the tour of the factory. So he's very strange, and Depp makes this choice to play him this way. It wins me over a little bit, but it's just not quite right. And there's other things going on in there. There's the Oompa Loompas, who are all played by Deep Roy, who I just realized why he looks so familiar. Um, I will say Deep Roy plays all of them. Like they filmed him 100 times doing the same thing because they do these dances and songs and everything. Um, it's this actor named Deep Roy, and I was like, oh, he looks so familiar. I wonder what he's from. And it turns out he is from the Neverending Story, or the guy that rides the snail, who actually dresses like Willy Wonka. He's got like a top hat and a thing, a whole thing. So I felt very familiar towards the Oompa Loompas, probably because of that, like because he was in one of my childhood favorite movies. Um, he's very good. Like they do Oompa Loompa things. They sing and dance and they make chocolate. The songs are not great. They sound like they did like these are poppier, these are big songs. Like it's not like Oompa Loompa doopity doo. It's like, I mean, they're fully produced songs. It's kind of crazy how far they go with it. The real downside to the songs though is you can't understand what they're saying. Um, and that seems to be something crucial to the story. I don't know why they didn't do it, but anyway. So one by one, these kids get knocked off for being jerks. And by this point, the film had sort of lost me. And the reason I think it did lose me is because I don't know how to put this exactly, but it doesn't. Spoilers for Charlie and Chocolate Factory, but Charlie wins the factory at the end. Like it's the ultimate prize. He gets to be the chocolatier. But it's just by default. He's not really tested. He's just like it comes to the end, and they're like, all the kids are gone. You win, and uh, I don't know. I don't know if you know this, but there's another movie based on this story called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Have you ever seen that? So I don't know if you could tell, but I was going through that description of the film, painfully trying not to compare it to the original one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see my fist, but I'm like, no. I was going through much effort to view this movie on its own and say like, well, what if Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory didn't exist, would Charlie and the Chocolate Factory be a great movie? And I don't think it would. I do think that first 45 minutes would be great, but in the Chocolate Factory, it loses some of its magic. And I think it has something to do with Willy Wonka being an incomplete character in this film. And the factory itself does not have the same sort of magic that you expect, or that certainly comparatively that you got in the first film.
Yeah.
These kids are straight up jerks, and they're barely excited to be there. They're like, they think Wonka's weird, and they like let him know. They think everything's weird, and they let him know. And I don't know, I guess they kind of do that in the first one a little bit too, but it's all dark and the magic isn't there. Even though, and I really loved this, the film starts with a voiceover, starts at and ends, and a little bit here and there. And I love that. Like it's very much like a fairy tale, like storybook sort of thing that really works for me. But inside the factory, by the time it gets to the ending, and Wonka's like, oh, you win the factory, and they get into the great glass elevator, and they start flying all around, and that's terrible because it's all CGI.
Yeah.
And it just feels flat and fake, and I just dip out. Like it just doesn't work for me, and it's the part of the movie where it needs to work, because what happens is instead of ending there like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory does, Charlie refuses the factory.
Oh.
And he's because Wonka's like, you'd come here and live in the factory and I'd train you. And he's like, I could bring my family with me. And he's like, no, you can't. You'd have to leave them behind. You'll never see him again. So Charlie chooses his family over the factory. Then we get this whole epilogue where Willy Wonka goes on a journey of self-discovery. And he sort of then convinces Charlie to move to the factory and bring his family. And, you know, it's good because Willy Wonka gets to have an arc too.
Yeah.
Instead of being mysterious and then a jerk and then the nicest guy in the world, like he is in the first movie. There are things I love about this movie. Like I said, that first 45 minutes is great. I love the attention to detail with some of the characters, like the grandparents. I did rewatch the first Willy Wonka, and all of them are overshadowed by Grandpa Joe, obviously. Everyone else is just like his bedmates. Like they get introduced and they might say a word or two, but that's about it. In this movie, each of the four has an identity. And Grandpa George is like this curmudgeon, and he's bad-mouthing the other ticket winners the whole time. But then he gets to be the one that sort of convinces Charlie to go and on the adventure, because Charlie wants to like sell his ticket for money because the family needs money, because that's how Charlie is. He's very unselfish. And his grandpa comes over and he says, money will keep being made, but there's only 5 of those in the world. Only a dummy would give that away. You're not a dummy, are you? It's the sweetest insult ever. So those, like, having the family be so well built meant a lot for this film. It really works. Okay. There's a couple other things I'd love to touch on real quick. Let's see here. He straight up tries to kill Veruca Salt in this movie. Like, he definitely tries in the Willy Wonka one. Like in the Willy Wonka one, okay. So in Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka is okay with Veruca Salt dying. He's like,
Yeah.
what a shame. What a pity. In this one, he's like kind of pushing her to die. In the Wilder one, she wants a golden goose, or the egg that the goose that lays the eggs. In this one, it's squirrels that are testing things to see if they're good or bad. And she's like, I want a squirrel. I'm going to send you some pictures, Phil, to post with this, but those squirrels attack her and drag her into the trash chute, and she 100% dies. Like, or should be dead. Now, all the kids do make it out alive at the end, but
I mean, it serves her right for wanting a squirrel, honestly.
it serves her right. Yeah. I mean, Veruca Salt is crazy. She's like one of cinema's craziest characters. Like, she just wants everything, but a squirrel. Ugh. Anyway, so that's nightmare number 1. That's not even the first nightmare of the film, though. And I'll say that's one of the bigger differences between this and the Wilder version. Gene Wilder's character is crazy. Like, he's an insane person that has a dark undercurrent for sure. That whole boat thing is nightmare fuel. But Tim Burton's like, I'm Tim Burton. I am going to amp that up. And he sure does. When the families come to the factory, there's a voice saying, come closer. And then a curtain separates. And there's these, it's a small world. It's like that setup. There's all these dolls like singing and dancing, and they're singing a song about Willy Wonka and how Willy Wonka is so great. And I don't know if it's a mechanical issue, but they catch on fire, and it's real creepy. I mean, it gets worse and worse and worse. Yes, definite nightmare fuel. I mean, another one, this was in 2005. CGI was at a good level, and I think Burton embraces that a little bit too much. So much great practical stuff, which I love. Violet Beauregard though, when she turns into a blueberry, they went full CG, and it really doesn't look right. And it's certainly nightmare fuel too.
Yeah.
Tons of nightmare fuel here. Those are the big things. I will say, I laughed throughout, and I had a good time, but it's impossible to watch this without comparing it to the other. And I wonder if there's a newer generation, like the millennials or the Gen Alphas or whatever, Gen Zs, if they could, if this is their first Wonka,
Yeah.
and if that's a good thing. But here's the thing, I don't know. Okay, this felt like sacrilege when it came out in 2005. Like everyone was like, "No one asked for this. We all love this one. Why would we get this?" But did this have to come out for us to accept Timothy Chalamet's Wonka? Or that's a completely different story, so it's okay to like that one? I don't know. I will say, I like all the Wonka movies. I think Chalamet's one is rock solid. I love that movie. And I don't know if I would be able to say that if this one didn't come out and clear all the taint out. Like, it's been done. It's okay if we do another Wonka. Remember that one from 20 years ago? Yeah. All right. Okay. Go ahead to do your Wonka. So maybe thank you, Tim Burton. But genuinely, thank you for the first 45 minutes of this. It's great. It's really super stylized and super detailed, and an excellent fairy tale that sort of loses itself in the madness of the chocolate factory.
Yeah. I guess so. A few things. I'm curious because you mentioned like there's a point at which Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like the glass elevator, like that's the end of Willy Wonka, and then there's a whole. How long is that next part?
That yeah, that epilogue.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 15 minutes,
Okay.
not too crazy. And it is told in that voiceover sort of fairy tale way. So it's all like, Willy Wonka went to this place and did this thing and that thing. And then there'll be a little tiny scene. And they're like, and then he went to, here and there. So it's not painful. But I mean, think about that elevator ride in the Wilder version. He really is like, it's yours, Charlie. You get it. And he's like, what about my family? And he's like, bring them in. They can come live with you in the fact. And it's just like, wait. And so this movie is like, no. It makes me wonder about the original source, which is of course
Yeah.
a Roald Dahl book. And this one is apparently truer to it than the Willy Wonka version is. So yeah, maybe all that's in there.
Yeah.
This movie also includes a little bit of Dahl's racism.
Oh.
So- I mean, it just leans in on the fact that Willy Wonka has a bunch of slaves in his factory, and he pays them in chocolate. And I mean, they're happy, but like, ugh, maybe they're not. Like, who knows? That's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing with, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
touchy.
we don't know what Oompa Loompas use for currency, do we? I mean, is it explained in Wonka, the Timothy Chalamet version? Like, do they use chocolate as currency on Oompa Loompa Land?
So in the Chalamet version in Wonka, uh, they are not associated with Wonka yet. Wonka is a solo act, um, and he has taken something from them that they come to that
Yeah.
that Hugh Grant, the Oompa Loompa, comes to get back. So but yeah, it could lead to the point where, I mean, they love chocolate. I guess, I don't know.
But I'm just curious, like, because I have not read any of the books, and my only knowledge of Oompa Loompas is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and like
Sure.
the 20 minutes of Wonka that I've watched. So like I don't know if they ever explain like, or if they ever get into like the Oompa Loompa society, maybe like maybe it is money, like it is like the chocolate is their money, where they
It
like
certainly could. Yeah.
where they're like so like in that instance, like if the Oompa Loompas are getting paid in chocolate, they are getting paid, so they're
Yeah, I
just
guess
factory workers at that point.
Yeah, I don't wanna argue slavery with you, but, no, no, it's true. The 2005 version and the Wonka version both, expand on how Wonka met them for the first time. The 2005 one explains how he meets them, in the forests or in the jungles. They're a tribe, like a
Mhm.
very, very tribal, and they do worship the cocoa bean. Not just use it as currency, but worship like, they're like, "We only get 1 or 2 a year, so we like," you know, it's special. Uh, so yeah, if they get and that's what in this movie they say he says, he's like, "I offered to give them all the chocolate they want, and to, you know, bring them to a safe place, away from the dangerous jungle." So, I mean, he is helping them, quote, unquote, but, I guess can they leave if they want to? I guess
I guess,
I
like,
have
that's really the line there, like, if they can come and go freely, if they're sending back chocolates to, like, their family members in Oompa Loompa land,
yeah. Yeah,
like, that's fine, but, like, if they ca if they're there forever, that's probably wrong, right?
pretty bad. I mean, it's not I don't know. I don't wanna disrespect their culture, but it feels like they're being taken advantage of.
I mean, for sure they're
There, I
being
said
taken
it.
advantage of, 'cause, um, he like, Willy Wonka is, paying hundreds of Oompa Loompas in the thing that he makes in his
Yeah.
factory.
The thing that he makes them make. I just don't know how they're not, like, the whole time, like, like, they must like chocolate, but not, like, love chocolate. I
Yeah.
hate to just I hate to keep doing any more comparisons, but I think I was so good at the opening of this video that I deserve a few cheats at the end. There is mention of Slugworth and Everlasting Gobstoppers in this film,
Mhm.
but it is not the same. Like, Slugworth is not trying to pay the kids to steal something from Willie, which I think is an excellent device from the Gene Wilder version. Like, that adds a whole new set of like, who the hell is that guy? Like, are the kids gonna go through with it? Like, even when he's like, everybody gets a one, like the kids look at each other like, oh yeah. Um, that's so good. I love that. This movie also doesn't have fizzy lifting drink. It doesn't have that moment where Charlie and Grandpa Joe are bad, like where they sort of cheat the system. Um, so when it comes to that end point and he wins the factory, it's less special. Um, and there is rewatching that Gene Wilder performance, there is something crazy special about the way he goes from being aloof to that angry scene is nuts. Like, there's an air of darkness in him the whole time, but that scene where he's like, "You in nothing," and like basically screams, and the camera kind of pulls in on him.
Mhm.
It's intense. Like, I know people are like, "This guy's, you know, this guy me is, blowing this up," but like, it's a really scary moment. And then when Charlie does the right thing, and he's the nicest guy in the world, there's something really special there. And I think if Depp had been given those same beats, he would have done something special too. But this Wonka doesn't have those beats. This Wonka is broken in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is hard to, especially for people our age, to not compare, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because they are essentially from the same, source, even though they're different. Um, like,
It's so beloved. It's so known. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, yeah, it's just everybody knows it
yeah. I
for
mean,
now.
when did
In
so
10 years.
I was gonna say, like,
Like
when did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory come out? It was like the '60s, '70s?
70s, 1971. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it came out, like, well before we were born, and, like, it was kind of our I mean, we know what it is. We were traumatized by Willy Wonka, the same as I'm sure a generation before us and a generation after.
For sure.
Um
Um,
Yeah.
I also want to say Freddie Highmore is the Charlie. Is Charlie? He's terrific, and he has of course grown up to become an adult person that also acts. uh, but in that time, it's nuts to think about how many movies he was in as the boy, the kid. Like he was everywhere. He was a go-to child actor. But it's so cool that he's in stuff still and is good in things. And he's terrific in this too.
So, I don't know if I've made it clear yet, but I have not watched I don't think any of, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, even in
Not even
passing.
by accident.
Yeah.
Like you were walking past a display that was playing it, and you're like, no.
You're like, "Yeah."
Um, and I don't know if you could tell, but I do not own it. So
Okay. Um,
yeah.
yeah. Like, was there a reason that you never picked it up? Is it did you feel the same way about it 20 years ago?
I think I did kind of feel the same way. It's hard too because I am a Burton fan and Burton supporter, but I mean, he now that his career is as long as it is, he's got as many misses as he does hits. Um, and this one's somewhere in the middle. It's like it's a good watch, but it's not like a Burton classic. You know?
But I guess speaking of other movies, is there something that you would recommend if somebody's looking to watch something with similar vibes to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. I mean, just to not like say like watch the original or watch Wonka, which Wonka does everything, does all the stuff right, like including it's filled with tons of great new songs. And Charlie and Chocolate Factory has no songs other than the Oompa Loompa songs, which is very strange. It's hard to think. I couldn't think of anything else that was same vibes, or that wasn't just like watch another Willy Wonka movie or watch another Tim Burton movie because they're all it's the same thing. Um, Nothing really popped to mind, but I would love to hear if any of the people out there listening to this have recommendations for it because I am always down for a weird, sort of twisted fairy tale. And just saying those words there, I'm reminded of Coraline. Coraline's a great, weird, dark, twisted fairy tale. So there it is. I snuck one in right at the last second.
Right in there.
I plucked it from my word salad. Coraline. It's a great movie though.
Nice. So any parting thoughts on, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Um, a good rewatch. Not, I mean, it's exactly it's not as good as the original. But it has its moments. I'm, I will watch it again. I'm sure. You know,
If I should pass a TV that has it on, should I uncover my eyes or keep
depends on which part. Are they in the chocolate factory yet? You're good.
Alright, everyone, so what did you think of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Um, are the Oompa Loompa slaves? Are they just,
Jesus. Let's boil it down. What did we learn here today? Let's talk about slavery.
or are they just, like, immigrants who are getting paid in chocolate? Let us know in the comments below. Um, and feel free to give this video a like, and if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you all in the next one.